This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, starting at verse 5. For thus saith the Lord YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. We have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man does travail with child? Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Shalom Yasha'Allah, peace Israel, call HALALYAM law, ALLAH Abanawa, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA QADASH. I'm the brother Chasai Gadol from the Camp Province in Babylon, down here in Tampa, Florida. I would like to give double honors to the head elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth and rule well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace, blessing, love, health, awareness, and all salutation to the hopeful elect, the house of David that scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth, that are labored in the truth with all sincerity. Shalom. All right, now Salakia. Now before we get started, going into today's lesson, as you heard, I brought out the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, starting at verse 5. Because we're about to enter into a time like never before, man. All right, and I want to get into this post. It was a TikTok reel. All right, I'm not going to necessarily play it. You don't have to necessarily play it. I'm going to read it. It says, EBS, Emergency Broadcast System Activation Imminent. The EBS will involve 3 to 12 days of worldwide communication darkness. Phones, internet, credit/debit cards, and ATMs will not work, while 3 8-hour documentaries a day will be broadcast on TV and radio 24/7 across the globe, man. All right, and as you, once again, going back to that Jeremiah 30 and 7, that's going to just be a prelude of what's really to come, man. Okay, so let's bring that back real quick. Jeremiah chapter 30, starting at verse 5. For thus saith the Lord YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. We have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. And that's exactly what's going to happen, man. Okay, so they gave these senates, all right, these emergency telephones because they're planning for this blackout, man. All right, as you just heard, and they're gonna air 3 different documentaries on the TV and on the radio across the globe for 24/7. So that's just a way of them predictive programming you, man. Okay, giving you what it is that they want you to see. Okay, this guy Klaus Schwab said what, man? He said, you will own nothing and be proud and be happy. All right, verse 6, it says, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness, right, man? So you're going to have grown-ass men out here screaming like full-blown bitches, screaming like full-blown women, excuse my French, because of what? Because it's going to be darkness. They're not going to be able to use their credit card. They're not going to be able to use their debit card. Their family members or their family is going to be screaming and constantly, nagging and bugging at them for when the power going to come on, when we're going to be able to take showers, or when is our next meal going to come from. You see, verse 7, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right, man? Oh, so like it, let me jump back up and to verse 6. It says, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned to paleness. Right. So as a woman, when she's going through that last trimester, all right before she's about to have that baby, it's constant contractions. All right. So it's constant contractions, and that pain that's coming is constant. That's exactly how it's going to be out here. These men out here are going to be screaming just like those women that's in that pain. when they're having those last minute contractions and that last minute trimester right before she's about to have that baby, man. And you're gonna have men out here screaming with their hands on their loins because of the things that's gonna be going on, man. Okay, once again, going down to verse 7, it says, "At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Now, going back to Jacob, who is that? You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Okay, but he shall be saved out of it. Who shall be saved out of? Israel, which is ultimately the elect, man. Okay, so the elect shall be saved out of Jacob's trouble. Why? Because they are going to be the ones that have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that truly believe in serving YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI with all truth and sincerity. Let's grab this right quick. We're gonna go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 13. It says, "Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahawah, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed." Right? So if you serving YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI and been serving YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI already from the time that this truth has been brought unto you, then you have nothing to really worry about, man. Okay? But unfortunately for these other people out here, these 2/3 and these heathens and people who don't want to come back and repent, okay, and come back and serve YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, it's going to be an ultimate death and destruction out here on these streets, man. And those people that's not serving the Lord are going to be caught up in those death or in those destructions. All right. They're not going to eat. They're going to starve. They're going to have those demons jump on them. Okay. Those demons that's already on them are going to amp up in those times, man. All right. Because what happens when you cut the lights off, man? There's darkness in there, man. Okay. Let's read on a little bit more. It says, going back to the post, "For your own safety, please follow military instructions, including staying indoors if so constructed. It's only wise to have at least a month's supply of food, water, cash, and essential items on hand." Now you see that, right? It said that for your own safety, please follow military instructions, including staying indoors if so constructed. Now, when they first brought out this whole juicy juice, this C9 thing, Salakia, what did they do, man? They told you to stay indoors. Then they told you needed to wear a mask. You know, what they had you wearing a mask first and then staying indoors. However it was, all right, you remember how it went, okay? And then they locked down areas. So this is all right now to do what? To ultimately, this is going to be a test run to ultimately see if they see how their order out of chaos works, man. Their chaos, and then their order established. Because if you have to have military instructions or military base anywhere to establish order, therefore there's going to be martial law. Okay, so Sleazy E, man, we're not ignorant of your devices, man. Okay, let's grab that real quick. All right, because that's what it is, man. Because the foolish will see this and actually try and go stock up. But like the scripture says, man, you know, a man will be desired to go into a city and won't be able to. People are going to have no pity amongst their neighbors. So these people are telling you to stock up on month's supply of food. All right. But then all you're doing is you're giving the next door neighbor a gateway and an open door to come in and take what it is that he wants. Because these people out here don't believe in YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. You see, they don't believe in the Lord, man. They're going to believe in Esau, and they're going to believe in Esau's weapon, which is the sword, man. So let's grab this, 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. "At least Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." Right, man. We're not ignorant of your devices, Sleazy. Okay, and this right here is one of your devices. You talk about the emergency broadcast system activation, and now you're going to cut off phones. All right, these are all leading into what? Also the famine of the word, man. Okay. Because you're going to have the famine of the word, because if you cut off phones, that means you cut off people access to being able to use the internet. Because a lot of people use the internet from their phones. All right. You're saying you're going to cut off the internet. So then once you cut off the internet, you definitely cutting off of everything else. So that means you won't even be able to make phone calls, man. You see, you won't even be able to make phone calls. All right. Because some people whose phones are off, they have to sometimes use Wi-Fi. You know, you cutting off debit ATM. That's just another way for you to roll into your CBDC. You see? So this one post right here, man, shows you a bunch of prophecies lined up in one, man. You see what I'm saying? So then let's grab this real quick. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. And the reason it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Right, man. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Why? Because at the end of the post, it said to stock up for food for at least a month. So now people are going to start rampaging and ravaging these grocery stores to do what? To go and stock up food because of this test run that they're going to do with this whole blackout. All right, and cutting off the internet and cutting off the phones and all of that. But once again, if you believe and you trust in YAHAWASHI, none of that should matter. We just read it in Isaiah, the 65th chapter, the 13th verse. You see? But going back, it said, and suddenly shall these sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. Right? Because people are going to be rushing and running into these grocery stores to try to get food that people are going to be fighting one another. It could be your neighbor that you trying to grab the last piece of lettuce head from. And then y'all in there bumping, throwing lettuce heads and Fruit Loops all in there. You know what I'm saying? Lady gonna leave out of there with damn a piece of bacon strips slapped across her face, man. You know, because people are really gonna be in there fighting to get that last piece of, whatever it is that's in the grocery store, man. Then it says, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Right, the springs of the fountain shall stand still. And because once you cut off the power, once there's a blackout, there's no more running water. And if there's no more running water, then yeah, people are definitely gonna go crazy because people feel like, oh, but damn, now I can't take a shower, I can't wash my clothes, you know what I'm saying? I can't wash my dishes. So now I'm gonna end up with this, because all people know here is comfortability. And once uncomfortableness comes, people lose it. Okay? That's why Babylon has people. That's why when you go back to Babylon, all right, it goes back to the word Babel, which means confusion, man. This place is confused because it makes you live for comfortability. And then as soon as uncomfortableness comes, everybody lose it. They go ballistic. Let's continue reading. Verse 25, it says, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. And the men that are received, now Salakia, that's it on that. That's it on that 2nd Ezra 6 and 24. But let's grab this real quick. Let's go to let's grab this right quick. Salakia, bear with me. Let's grab this right quick. Let's go to Isaiah 55. And starting at verse 6, and it says, seek ye the Lord Yahawah YAHAWASHI, while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Right, man. So as long as his doors of mercy is open, as long as that grace period is still out there. And why? Because the Lord has set up his prophets in these last days to let you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native American Indians destruction that's about to come upon this place. All right, so that's your way of being able to seek the Lord while he may be found, because once this does happen, that's when you're going to get Amos 8 and 11. All right, let's grab that too, Oh, matter of fact, so let's go back to what we was at. It says, Isaiah 55 and verse 6, seek ye the Lord Yahawah, BAHASHAM YAHWASHI, while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Right, man, while he is near. So while the prophets are still out on the highways and byways, while the internet is still up, while you have a chance to be able to go out there and hear this word, or go on the internet and search and listen to this word, then you need to be trying to seek the Lord. Because if you don't, then you're going to get caught in that crossfire and your ass is going to die, man. And that crossfire going to be what? You're going to go down there and trust in Sleazy E and his devices, and you gonna end up with that karagam in your hand and be destroyed, man. So let's grab this right here, and I'm gonna end it on that. This is the book of Amos, chapter 8 and verse 11. And it says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahawah, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Right, man. And this is how it's gonna happen, man. It said the EBS will involve 3 to 12 days of worldwide communication darkness, man. You see that? Worldwide communication darkness. So that means that's a global blackout, man. Phones, internet, credit, debit cards, and ATMs will not work, while 3 to 8 hour documents a day will be broadcast on TV and radio for 24/7 hours across the globe, man. That's a total blackout. So in that time, if there's no phones, if there's no internet, you can't seek the Lord. You can't call upon the Lord. So now let's read on. Verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and shall not find it, man. You see, so in that time, you're going to be trying to have people, they're going to be trying to reach out. They're going to be trying to find, they're going to be wishing that the internet working. They're going to try to jump from this website to that website to this. They're going to do everything they can, or the Lord done already put the vision in them to have, or put the spirit on them to walk past the prophets, but they mocked and scoffed, man. You see, so now they're going to be out here trying to figure out what the true name of the Lord is, and they're going to be fucked, man. So Lord willing, this quick hit was edifying unto you. If it was edifying unto you, it'd be edifying unto the elect that scattered abroad. I'm going to close out and give all praises going honor to Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM RAWCHAA QADASH, and double honors to the head elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth and rule well. Hey, man, is a great death and destruction is about to come upon this place, man. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Shalom, shalom.